Alright guys, I went and spent some money that I don't have, but I mean I had a way to pay for it. I didn't steal them. But Harbor Freight, they're having their Black Friday and spring sale or whatever. So they had these on sale. $100 off of the wire rope version or cable, whatever you want to call it. And then the 120 off the synthetic rope, which is super nice. I like the synthetic rope. I bought one of each because this one's going to go on my trailer that I use for hauling the old Dodges home and everything else, scrap metal, whatever. So the winch that's on that trailer it's worked. It's doing the job poorly, honestly, which is sad because it's been probably the worst mile marker winch I've owned. I don't know why it has been so bad. I bought it from my neighbor who bought it new and he never used it, and I don't know, supposedly it was never used. It looked brand new, but it's an older model. I don't know exactly what year, early 2000s. I have one that's similar that's on a receiver plate that I built. It's really heavy duty that I use for to put in the back of the pickups. If I need a winch in the back, I have the big Anderson power plugs on most of my pickups that I do my towing with, or my truck that it's supposed to be for off-road that I don't take off-road because I've never finished fixing it. But anyways, this one's going to go on the trailer. That one's going to come off, and it's either going to get used as like kind of a display piece to put on the front, like a winch bumper on the front of one of the other trucks. Like, yeah, it'll still work, but probably mostly going to just be a, just there for looks kind of thing. Or I'll throw it on the shelf for parts for the other one, which I'll show you that in a minute. It's here in the shop. But this one will end up on another truck build at some point. I am working on collecting all the stuff to build like a vintage style or a classic Dodge wrecker out of a 74 D600 that I just picked up a couple weeks ago. But anyways, not really an unboxing video. It's not what it's meant to be, but it's kind of an unboxing video because these are number 2 and 3 brand as far as brand new winches go. I bought one other one brand new. It was my mile marker 15K, which is on the front of my off-road truck. It's got a faster line speed and stuff. I don't know if it's as fast as these. This truck has a Warren on the front of it that's a 12K, and it's pretty quick. I don't know what the rating is on that one either. I haven't looked it up because whatever. I just know I watched the Matt's Off-Road Recovery and like Robbie Layton and Casey Liddell out here in Oregon. Several other guys I know. I've kind of gotten into some of the other off-road wrecker guys that have been going to the off-road games and stuff, watching some of their videos. But there's a whole list of them. If you watch Matt's Off-Road Recovery and Robbie Layton and stuff, you've probably seen these other guys. Bent Off-Road and Murphy's Diesel. You got Trail Mater. There's all those guys. I spend a lot of time watching YouTube in the evenings, so I don't have TV because it's too expensive. But anyways, they all use these, and they use the heck out of them, or a lot of the guys do. I know some of them don't. Some of them have old Warrens or old school PTO or hydraulic winches and stuff. But I know Matt, they use these at Matt's Off-Road Recovery a lot. Robbie Layton's got a whole bunch of them on his tow truck, and they just abuse them, and they have been holding up amazingly well. And a lot of people have nothing but good things to say about these. So it's been a long time coming, thinking about getting one of these, and I'm pretty excited to finally bite the bullet and buy some. And I was kind of waiting for a sale to come on, and they had a really good sale. $100 off this one, and $120 off of this one. So that's a pretty good deal. $479 each. So it's got it's got a book that tells you how to properly winch. That's pretty cool. I don't think my mile marker came with that. And then just a manual for the winch, and it came with stickers. Nothing comes with stickers anymore, so that's cool. I'll stick those on something at some point. Looks like we got lots of good heavy gauge battery cable. We've got the winch controller line and the wireless winch, which is the other thing, or the wireless controller, which these winches come standard with, which is a pretty cool upgrade. This is like a $60 kit from Harbor Freight on its own. Looks like a nice little Badlands lanyard tether thing for your big fancy hook. I'm going to run the hooks on mine. I know a lot of the guys I watch on YouTube, they've converted over to like the Yankum Freedom winch lines, have the soft shackle built into them. I do want to get some soft shackles and stuff in a Yankum rope at some point, but I'm not doing desert off-roading stuff here a lot here in Oregon, but got the nice aluminum fair lead for that synthetic line, and this one's going to have the rollers because it's cable. More battery cables. It's got the big lead that's coming off the winch. Looks like a solenoid relocation bracket. That's pretty handy, so you can move the solenoid control pack elsewhere, which I'm not going to do that, but that's cool. That's really cool they give you that option. Looks like a little junction box for battery cables hook up into. I don't know what this is. Oh, just bought some more toys. Got a battery cutoff switch here. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that would come with. Didn't know that came on here. Oh, my grandparents just got home. Someday I'll have my own shop and not have to worry about being interrupted. I guess being interrupted is not that big of a deal. You know, I'm lucky to still have both my grandparents around, so, but still, it will be nice to have a big shop where I have better control over everything, and I don't have to do stuff outside. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So I was talking about this thing when my grandma came out to tell me about her flowers that she bought herself. I didn't know it came with a main battery shutoff switch, so that's a cool little, I feel like it's a cool little extra. Now, I don't think I've seen video, or if I have, I don't remember of any of the guys that I watch on YouTube that use these winches a lot. I don't know if I've ever watched them take one out of a box, so this is kind of new to me what all comes in here. It looks like we've got the little rubber boots for the winch, the power wires, and some nice bolts. Looks like stainless ones for the fair lead, and different ones to adapt for the if you relocate your solenoid pack. And that looks like all the stuff that's in there. I'm not going to pull this thing out because it's heavy, but big old monster there. Looks cool. You can see that on the box here. I'm going to bring this camera over. We've got the you got your big main coming off of here. Unlike my mile marker winches, there's not like wires coming out of the solenoids and bolting onto the sides of the motor and all that stuff. Your solenoids are all contained, so it's just really nice. So we've got this big rubber cap here to keep all this covered. So you got your plug for the winch controller if the battery is dead, and then it's got an on-off switch here. It looks like it says wireless on-off, so you can turn it off if you're going to run the wired. Yeah, it says turn wireless switch off after winching. So they recommend turning that off if you're not using the winch. So anyways, that's pretty handy. Nice little rubber cover there. I'll go over here real quick since I'm moving the camera around. There is my mile marker 9K that is on a receiver plate that I built. It's probably heavy duty enough for the 12K. I built that because all of them that I could find were really thin. I felt they weren't heavy duty enough, and they were really bulky. They had these big handles on the sides of them, and I just wanted something the winch could bolt to and then just stick it in my receiver on whatever rig I want to use it on. That has a Harbor Freight synthetic winch line on it, actually. I've used that winch. I can't quite remember. I know I've used it several times with that synthetic line, and that that makes it really nice. I rebuilt the brake on that winch because I got that one secondhand as well, and it had somebody had used it. I think they hooked it up to a vehicle and then they yanked on it, and I think it broke the brake mechanism because it was all broken in there, and it would only winch in and it wouldn't go out. It would just jam up. So that was a little interesting because I actually had to call Mile Marker because this one's old enough that the model number doesn't come up on their website anymore. So I had to call them up, tell them the serial number. They were able to cross-reference and look up the info in their system and order, so I could order the parts. But yeah, that one has always worked pretty good for me. But the other one that's on my trailer, I don't know. It works. It's just, it does not work the way that I think it should. There's an airplane. I don't know if you heard me say that. There's an airplane. There's an airport like half a mile from the house, so they fly over all the time here at my shop. So I'm gonna get all this stuff put back in the box and get these thrown in the shop. I will get to mounting this one up on the mount plate that's on my trailer some other time. Probably won't video that. Excited to try these out. I know these have a really good fast line speed, and it seems like they're very durable, so I'm excited to have a good upgrade on my trailer and hopefully be able to just yank things on there with no problem without having to do a snatch block and all this extra stuff. So because the vehicles I've been struggling to pull on the trailer, the 9,000 pounds should have just pulled it straight line, no problem in it, and it just won't do it for some reason. I think there's something wrong with the motor, and like I said, it's like that one on the floor in there. It's a very old model mile marker, so a lot of people don't like mile markers. I like the one that's on my off-road truck, the 15,000 pound one, and that was kind of the one I had my first experience with owning. I also bought it brand new, and yeah, another airplane, more airplanes. So anyways, I'm gonna get to work on some other stuff in the shop after I get this stuff put away, and I'll see you guys later.